Well, hello, it's summer again, still, I should say. And for those that have watched the videos about the U.S. Liberty, we'll go on the next step. And if you watch the videos, you could see those videos were made by the crew members that survived many years later. But the truth is there, and it's evident for everyone to see. Unbelievable. And what we learned is that the ship was deliberately attacked by Israel, meant to sink that ship, and knowing that there were Americans on that ship, and they were vicious about the attempt to sink it. And President Johnson and Secretary of Defense at the time, McNamara, let it be known that they wanted that ship to be attacked and sunk. And when the commander of the aircraft carrier spoke to the President of the United States and said, there's sailors on that ship dead and dying. We have to send those. And Johnson's reply was, and I don't like to use this language, but this is what the President of the United States said. He said, I don't give a goddamn about those sailors. He said, I will not allow our ally to be embarrassed. So he put Israel above the lives of U.S. sailors. It's hard to believe. And so we use that as a building block, is how powerful is the influence of Israel. We don't know. Trump, when he became the president, said he was going to clear up all the files on JFK. They did some, but not anything to do with some other files that implies that the Mossad was involved in the assassination of JFK, along with the CIA or American government officials. We have to realize that Israel has thousands of agents working in Washington and throughout the country, actually. In fact, a congressman a few months ago came out and said that each member of Congress has an agent or a guide assigned to them so that they will know how to vote and make sure that they do vote in the right way. And anyone who doesn't get along, they get along without them. And so that Israel CPAC system is not the CPAC, but the group that they have, that the PAC group that finances them hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And that's when Netanyahu comes to the Congress, speaks to the Congress, in spite of committing genocide in many countries. He can't even land an airplane in because they would arrest him because of the atrocities that are going on in Gaza. And it goes back a long time. About 30 years ago, there was a chap by the name of Jonathan Pollard, Pollard, and he was a spy in the Department of Defense working for the Navy. And he passed on to Israel. And according to Scott Ritter and others, claimed that this was the most devastating passing of information, secrets from the United States that anyone ever passed, including vital information to help Israel secure a nuclear weapon. And he passed on the information about our secret satellites that were used to monitor phones and the like. And they talk about one satellite was placed just to get Saddam's phone. Saddam found out about it because Israel took all the secret information and sold it to the Russians. The Russians notified Saddam, apparently. So, and Pollard was arrested and sentenced to lifetime in prison. Well, he didn't spend very long there, a few years. Then he was released, and now he's an analyst in the Israeli intelligence group. Very comfortable lifestyle. And I think that, speaking of Netanyahu, I think one of the reasons that he's here is to demand the loyalty of Trump to continue their wars, as Israel is doing with Lebanon, Gaza, and Syria, no matter where, and of course Iran. And this could lead to a frightening scenario with thousands of Americans' lives in jeopardy. Sinking of an aircraft carrier, which Iran, the Houthis, have the technology to do, could put 5,000 sailors underwater on one ship. And I think that Trump is always interested in making a deal instead of making peace. And making a deal is when you're buying something. But when you're in a war, you're not buying. It's paid with lives and deaths and treasures. And this idea that you can go in and do this and do that and get a ceasefire, it's not working. It's not working with Iran. It's not working with Russia. And I think even with this Epstein problem, I think personally, just my viewpoint, is that Netanyahu, that made it come up, and he said, look, make it clear, case closed, we're going to war, period. Trump, you work for us, Israel. And we appreciate the fact that after we attacked Iran, that you came in and helped get a ceasefire for us. We appreciate that. But when we go back the next time, we want Americans participating more actively than dropping a few bombs in the mountains. And Trump hasn't backed down, and maybe that's the reason that they came out and tried to get the headlines about Epstein. And bear in mind that Epstein was funded by the Victoria's Secret chap who was Jewish as well. Epstein was a school teacher in a fancy school in New York. He got a job. I'm just trying to think. The head of the school was the Attorney General Barr's father. So he hired Epstein as a school teacher. I guess he's a pretty smart guy. And then he got him, or he wiggled his way into the finance business that no one else knows about. But Mossad was the one that was his biggest customer, or he worked for. And that's why when Netanyahu comes in, case closed. No more information about Mossad. My opinion. And let's hope that Trump comes to his senses and face the fact that the people who follow Donald Trump are truth seekers. We listened to the lying Democrats for a long time, and that's what we call them, lying Democrats. And so when our guy starts to lie, we don't say, well, he's our guy, we believe him. No. It's up to us as Americans to know the truth, seek the truth, and find the truth. Netanyahu, almost Israel was on its knees, and because of Trump going in and bombing Iran, and then managed to get a ceasefire. And a ceasefire has nothing to do with peace. Ceasefire means they stop shooting at each other, while each side regroups. And but the Russians don't fall for it. Iranians, whatever reason they did, they felt okay, we'll do the ceasefire. Israel stopped shooting at Iran, but continued killing and bombing the defenseless citizens of Gaza, mostly women and children, and killing them, assassinating them with snipers as they try to get food. And if Israel does lick its wounds and attacks Iran again, it'll be a short-lived war, I believe, because Iran hasn't even used their Class A weapons yet. They've destroyed downtown Tel Aviv and most of Israel. And now the next time, if they step to the bat, they're gonna hit the ball out of the park. And anyone who interferes with that, including, unfortunately, the United States. And the Iranians are becoming more aware of what's happening. They're getting the new Chinese J-10 super jets. Now those jets, remember a while back, India and Pakistan had a war. It only lasted a few days, and India had jets that were supplied by the French. They were top-notch jets, to on the same level supposedly as the F-16s and the F-35s. But Pakistanis have that new Chinese J-10, and when India sent 6 of their state-of-the-art airplanes to bomb Pakistan, none of them got to Pakistan. They were all shot down by the J-10s, and there was just a few of those that were used, and that was the end of the war, because India realized they were outgunned with the most sophisticated weapons given to them by the Chinese, Pakistan. And so that's one of the considerations that Trump has to look at, I'm sure, is that what do we have to fight Iran if that be the case? And it's not a deal, it's a war. And a deal is when you buy real estate and you knock down here, you make a Benz and this, that, and anything. But in a war, our Civil War, our Revolutionary War, there wasn't any compromise. It was our country or death. It was in the Civil War. They didn't compromise. It was the defeat of the South, period. And in this, Israel taking on Iran has already said that they are not going to go any more of the ceasefires. And let's hope and pray that Trump comes to his senses. And whatever the cost of Epstein, if Trump was there or not, but I don't think he was, because if they had that information on Trump, the Democrats would have used that a long time ago. But whatever other power that Israel may have over Trump or may over the government in general, our government, we have to kick that out and stand alone if need be, but stand tall and be honest. That's what he was elected to be, honest. That's what Tucker Carlson expected when he got fired from Fox for telling the truth. Wanted honesty. We all expected Trump to be honest. We've given him leeway as far as his belligerent and his non-professional verbal intercourse. But we cannot allow the United States to get into a war with people that are not interested in war. Russia is not interested in invading France. it's not interested in going after anybody else. Putin said to Tucker that the goal of Russia was to perpetuate their 1,000-year-old civilization. And they have various types of people: Christians, Jews, Hindus, Muslims, and they have a lifestyle that they want to perpetuate. And France, England, Germany, NATO, they want the riches of Russia. They want that oil, they want those diamonds, they want that gold. And that's what the intent is. And Putin stands in the way. So let's hope that we stand clear of what Israel is intent on doing. I hate to be a lecturer, but that's just my viewpoint. And perhaps you would enjoy it as well. At least be aware of it. That America is our country, not Israel. George Washington said, "Stay away from foreign problems." That's enough problems for today. Thank you.